Mac Jones. Mac Jones threw the ball 39 times on the road. Christian McCaffrey only had 12, 13 carries. Like, it was a big ask. And Mac Jones was great. 3 touchdowns, no picks, 280 yards, 113 passer rating. He asked him to throw almost 40 times on the road. There's no George Kittle. There's no Brandon Ayuk. Where do these tight ends come from? That was a big ask, and I'll say this. The good news for San Francisco, they now have 2 quarterbacks that work. One's probably overpaid, and one's absolutely underpaid. But this is what Kyle Shanahan does. That's why I always said with Brock Purdy, Brock's better than Mac Jones. I'm not denying that. Is he $265 million better? Because you go on the road with no Kittle, no Brandon Ayuk. I know it's the Saints, but it's an NFL team. You ask him to throw 39 times. Mac Jones has a below-average NFL body. He's not a great athlete. He's got an average NFL arm, and that was a big ask, and he was really good. And the rival L.A. Rams do a very good job of separating performance from circumstance. I don't think the Niners do. I think the Rams do. That's why the Rams will let go to Jared Goff and Todd Gurley or Cooper Kupp or Jalen Ramsey. They know that Sean McVay elevates every B player to an A player or a C player to a B minus player. And so does Shanahan. But sometimes they struggle. San Francisco struggles separating performance from circumstance. And I think a lot of Brock Purdy's success is circumstantial. It's because of Shanahan. And yesterday proves it.
No, it. Oh, my God. Yesterday proves it. Oh, my God. That's why we can't have nice things. Listen. Oh, my gosh. Great coaches are always going to be able to elevate quarterbacks. I talk about this all the time. Andy Reid elevating Patrick Mahomes, etc., etc. The problem is that there's certain quarterbacks, like Brock Purdy for that matter, that we just constantly want to downplay what he has to offer on the field. And now we want to say that Mac Jones has one game against the New Orleans Saints, a terrible team, a team that'll be lucky to win like 2 games this season, that his performance proves it, that all of Brock Purdy's success is just 100% circumstantial. When Matt LaFleur was able to win games and elevate Malik Willis, and had some great games with Malik Willis, and then people went off and said, you know what? Malik Willis is actually maybe better than Jordan Love. Where did that conversation go? Where did that conversation go as of late? Is anyone talking about that at all right now? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. I mean, it's pretty crazy, right? Especially when you look at the idea of, like, do you think that Shanahan had no say over whether or not they wanted to keep... You don't think that the suits and ties of the 49ers came to Shanahan and said, what do you want to do at quarterback position? This is what Purdy wants? Are you comfortable moving forward with Brock Purdy at this amount of money for this amount of years? And Shanahan was like, I don't know. Like, we praise Shanahan. We praise him as being brilliant, as being awesome, as being able to elevate all these quarterbacks, which is all true. And he's the one that says, I want Brock Purdy. Shouldn't that mean something to us? Shouldn't that signal something to us that the guy who we think is unbelievable, who is awesome, who can make Mac Jones look really good, he's saying, I want Brock Purdy. I want Brock Purdy. And yet we think that we actually can see Brock Purdy for who he is, more so than Kyle Shanahan. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? Seriously. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? In a more cartoonishly run organization, like the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, right? Like all this weird stuff where we're like, who's pulling the strings here? We know Shanahan has a lot of power with the 49ers. We know he's got a lot of power. They're not just saying, shit, Kyle, Brock Purdy is our quarterback and you better like it. And we're giving him this amount of money. You better find a way to win. And Kyle's like, no, I don't really like him. And they're like, no, this is what we want. Right? Like that's obviously not the story here with the 49ers. Obviously. And again, they beat the Saints. They beat the Saints. I mean, Jake Browning, he had a lot of interceptions, but he was throwing all over the place, man. He's throwing to T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. I guess it's proof that Joe Burrow is actually not that good of a quarterback. Remember when Zachary Taylor won like 6-7 games with Jake Brown? I forget how many exactly games, but he went on like a little bit of a hot streak. And it's like, there you go. I mean, this is what great coaches do. This is what great coaches do. Why hasn't J.J. McCarthy been great with Kevin O'Connell right off the bat? I thought it was all circumstantial. That's why Sam Darnold was able to succeed, because of Kevin O'Connell. And yet we had a little bit of revisionist history when we look at the collection of other backup quarterbacks for the Minnesota Vikings with Kevin O'Connell, where like those quarterbacks had their moments, like with Dobbs and stuff, but like when you put it all together, like not so good. Not so good. And Mac Jones was never this 100% just cast aside, like he's had the path of the Sam Darnolds, of the Baker Mayfields, not quite right in the right situation, getting bounced to another team that's still another bad situation. And there's a reason why Shanahan said, I'll take Sam Darnold. I'll take Mac Jones. There's a reason why Andy Reid's like, I'll take Carson Wentz. Like that's how these things work. That's why Shane Steichen's like, I'll take Daniel Jones. And Kevin O'Connell was also like, I'll take Daniel Jones. But it doesn't prove that someone like a Brock Purdy is not worth a lot. And I don't mean money now. I just mean in terms of his role on a team and what he can do. But yes, out of all the teams that Mac Jones have played for, and for all the coaches that he's played for, yes, Kyle Shanahan is undeniably going to get the best out of him. Undeniably. 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 Just like Sam Darnold with Kevin O'Connell and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That doesn't disprove Brock Purdy's worth. It just doesn't. If Mac Jones goes on and wins a Super Bowl, then you can come, then we can have a talk about it, okay? We can have a talk about it. But I mean, I don't know. A conversation like this always irks me a bit, because I think in the right situation, Mac Jones can have a ton of success, because I am such a massively firm believer in coaching. And I think more of these quarterbacks than anyone ever wants to admit are a lot closer to each other. There's a real argument that from between 5 and 15 or 5 and 20 in terms of the quarterback rankings, that they're a lot more similar than anyone wants to really admit. That actually a lot of it comes down to, like, did you make the right decision? Did you make a throw when you shouldn't have? Like it actually comes down to more like a game management of like, you skipped that ball in when we really needed that first down. And like sometimes you get it off and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're the hero because you make that nice throw and it becomes a touchdown pass to win the game. And other times it's just off his fingertips. And it's a fine line. Some quarterback who's ranked 8th, he's able to just get a little bit more protection. He's just pressured at a slightly less rate. And that's just enough for him to be a little bit better and have his team have a little bit more. Like it's a lot finer of a line than anyone really wants to admit. And right now there's not enough great coaches, which I think is slowly changing. I think the coaching is catching up now. And so we will see more success from the Mac Joneses of the NFL. of the Sam Darnolds, the Daniel Jones, as we see him with Shane Steichen. But it's just, it shouldn't be used as a way to disprove what Brock Purdy is capable of doing. I know we're saying, well, I'm not saying that Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy or the same. Like, Brock Purdy is way better, but his success is circumstantial. And it's like, okay, well, under that logic, then not pretty much every single quarterback is. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, blah, 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 blah. Like Josh Allen, I always use Mahomes as an example, and everyone always cries and freaks out. Well, I'll use Josh Allen as an example. Josh Allen, an absolute freak, absolute monster, absolute beast. So is Lamar Jackson. Let's just use Lamar and Josh Allen. Put him on the Cleveland Browns. Put him on the Carolina Panthers. Put him on the New York Giants. We're still going to see some highlight reel, really exciting, wild plays. They are not consistently getting to the AFC Championship games and, top of the NFL and constantly leading teams to be considered top 2, top 3, best Super Bowl odds. We'll still see the genius in them and the brilliance in them, but not anywhere close to the success. That's circumstantial. That's circumstantial. And so if you're saying that it's not as easily to see that out of a Brock Purdy, well then yes, I would agree with that. But I would say that that's the case with essentially now every quarterback not named, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and, Patrick Mahomes. That all these other quarterbacks that you're going to see, what do you want them to do with the Carolina Panthers? Like what type of success do you possibly want them to see? Bryce Young is all over the place. He would be a lot better with Kyle Shanahan. That much is very obvious to me. Every single quarterback in the NFL that doesn't already have a great coach would be a lot better with Kyle Shanahan, with Matt LaFleur, with Kevin O'Connell, with Andy Reid, with Sean McVay. Like, that's obvious. I mean, think about it too. I'll just use Carson Wentz as that example again. Kevin O'Connell wanted him. Sean McVay wanted him. Andy Reid wanted him. Why do you think all the great coaches are willing to say, we'll have Carson as our backup? That's not luck. That's not just, there's reasons for that. There is absolutely undeniable reasons why. They're like, I can win with that quarterback if we need to. I'm willing to pay for that quarterback to be my backup. It is worth it to me. It's why Kyle Shanahan had Sam Darnold with Brock Purdy coming off of a weird arm injury where there was a real chance of we don't know what this guy is going to look like now. Was it a fluke year? He's injured. What's the story? And they said, all right, Sam Darnold. And we have clearly a Super Bowl capable roster. And they said, Sam Darnold's our backup quarterback. And then the Vikings were like, we will take Sam Darnold. And we're going to pay him $10 million, which is that's a real rate for a quarterback that's not like a true starter. Like that means you're going to be starting. You typically aren't paying a quarterback $10 million and not starting him. Those are the themes. And then when you look at some of the other teams that aren't very well run, they take quarterbacks who you're like, what are you doing here? What are you trying out right now? Huh? Wait, what? What? You're gonna make a move with Mason Rudolph right now? What? What are you trying right now? So I don't know, man. I don't know. These conversations just, I don't know. I'm curious how it all lands for you guys. How do you make sense? Straight up, how do you make sense of a Mac Jones performance against the Saints with Kyle Shanahan? How do you make sense of it in relation to Brock Purdy and what that means? And, would you rather have Brock Purdy at whatever they're called, whatever his final number came out to be? I forget, honestly. 200 plus million, or Mac Jones for 100 million? That's the other question that I would love for you guys to answer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.